Hi everyone, let's review how we can use scoreboards to help us add and subtract integers. Positive 4, subtract 2. In this case, we can think about the positive team as having 4 points and the negative team as having 2 points. Remember, we know this because we look at the sign that's out in front of the number, and that tells us what team it's going to be on. So the 4 is on the positive team, the 2 is on the negative team. So when we look at this, we can decide how we can create some zero pairs if it's possible. Since this positive and this negative would make a zero pair, and this one would also make a zero pair, we can conclude that the positive team is going to win by 2 in this case. So the answer to positive 4 subtract 2 is positive 2. In this case, both of the numbers are on the negative team. The 3 is negative, and the 1 is also negative, which means that when we create our scoreboard, the negative team is going to have 3 because of the first number, but the negative team is also going to have another 1 because of the second number. This means that when we look at our scoreboard, the positive team can't win because they didn't even show up to this game. So the negative team is going to win, and they're going to win by a total of 4 points. So negative 3 subtract 1, the answer is negative 4. In this example, the 6 is going to be on the negative team, and the 3 is going to be on the positive team. So we need to draw 6 points in the negative team's column, and we need to draw 3 points in the positive team's column. Zero pairs are going to be able to be created here. These are going to create a zero pair, and these are going to create a zero pair, and finally these are going to create a zero pair. We can't create any zero pairs with the remaining points because they're all the same color. We can conclude, though, that this means that the negative team is going to win by 3 points. So negative 6 plus 3, the answer will be negative 3. Of course, we'll wind up with problems that look a little bit more complicated. In a question like this one, there are brackets and there's actually double signs that are occurring. What we'll want to do is we'll want to look to change those double signs into a single sign. We can summarize the idea that if we add a positive, that's actually going to be the same thing as just adding. So we can rewrite this question to just simply be negative 4 plus 2. And then this will be what we will put in our scoreboard. The 4 will be on the negative team, and the 2 will be on the positive team. So we can draw that out. The 4 goes here, and the 2 goes here. Zero pairs can be created here and here, and we can see that overall the negative team is going to win by 2 points. In this case, we'll have to think about what happens when we subtract a negative. Well, if we look at those two signs and we were to think about how we would simplify them, we know that if we were multiplying, that a negative and a negative would become a positive. We can rewrite this question to be positive 3 plus 2. Then when we look and go to our scoreboard, the 3 is going to be on the positive team, and the 2 is going to be on the positive team. So when we draw this out, we will have 3 on the positive team for the first number, but then 2 more on the positive team from the second number. Looking at our scoreboard, we see that the negative team cannot win because they did not show up for the game. So the positive team is going to win in this case, and they're going to get all 5 of the points. So here are 4 questions. Let's look at how the double signs would simplify in each case. In this case, a positive and a negative would simplify to be a negative. A negative and a negative in this case would simplify to be a positive. A negative and a positive would simplify to be a negative. And a positive and a positive will simplify to be a positive. So if you notice, if when you circle your signs, they are different, you are going to have a negative. If you circle the signs and find that they are the same, you are going to have a positive. We'll finish off these questions quickly on the next few slides. The positive team will have 2, and the negative team will have 4. 2 zero pairs will be created, and we will conclude that the negative team wins by 2. The positive team will have 3, and then they will get 1 more. So we can conclude that the positive team will get all 4 points. The negative team will have 6, and the negative team will get 1 more. So we will conclude that the negative team gets all 7 points. They were the only team to show up, so they have to win. The negative team will have 7, and the positive team will have 2. 2 zero pairs will be created, and we will be able to see then that the negative team will win by 5 points. So good luck as you add and subtract integers from now on. I hope you'll remember about simplifying double signs and using those scoreboards.